we started brainstorming other ways that we could get people engaged and get new, fresh ideas, because we're always looking for new ideas to innovate in all of our industries, whether it's healthcare, manufacturing. Some ideas that we had come up with were empowering others by reinforcing positive behavior instead of the negative, and sometimes just needing to overlook mistakes because nobody's looking to make mistakes. We also had looked at ideas of ink splotches posted on a board and have people scream out what they see, and picture comparisons, reversing the roles. So instead of a quality person going up and saying, well, this department did this and this department did this, as they kind of sit back and they send out the notes on it and all the reports to the high-level managers, but they have somebody from that department come up and really brag, hey, we did this, and we made these improvements.
Kirsten, did you want to share what you had?
Yeah, I was just, I work in the healthcare arena, and one of the groups that I work with is cardiac surgery. And it's, if anybody has had cardiac surgery, it's a huge team of people, so it's respiratory, pharmacy, whatever. And in their world, there are specific outcomes that they are scrutinized on nationally. And in this database, it's very robust. There's about 1,000 hospitals in it. To be 3-star, which is the best, there's only about 14% in the nation that have that 3-star rating, and Caroline's Medical Center is one of them. And they got that within the last couple of years and have sustained that. And we use that methodology instead of the quality people getting up front and just saying, this is where we are on mortality, this is where we are on prolonged ventilation. We flip that and just says, this is how we're doing, but respiratory, come on up, and they identify and just say, this is the process we're working on. We have met our goal, this is how we did it. Or if they didn't meet their goal, they just said, this is what we're working on. And then we always ask the question, who in the room can get you there? And so they approach it that way. And the people who are in the audience is the hospital leadership. So it's the CMO, the chief medical officer, the president, nursing leadership, so they can see the ownership of the team. So it was kind of flipping it to get every discipline to own their own action, so which helped.
Is here for one more person? Is that who else?
Yeah, well, actually, as part of the team, I also want to add is a way in which we get the juices flowing, the creative juices flowing in brainstorming sessions. Is start with the end in mind. Get people to kind of reflect on a vision of where things should be as a way of which you started laying out your path toward trying to come up with effective ideas to solve your problems and your issues.
Shane, probably.
Sure.
You didn't deny it, did you?
He always has something good to say.
The majority of what we talked about is kind of some of the points that we hit earlier was really just revolving around the feedback you give people and how you give it to get the best results out of them. And nobody shows up to work to do a bad job. They all have the best intentions, so it's all about how you present information and feedback to get the most out of people. The more positive feedback you get, the more ideas that are going to keep coming to you. The second you ignore someone or react that somebody's idea is stupid or any of these things, you've lost them forever. You're not getting them back. You've made them feel out of place. They don't want to be involved anymore. And you're starting back from square one with the culture, which is what we started the day with. So that's kind of where we just wrapped it up, that people are the most important thing we do. Processes get us there, but the people aren't on board with what we're doing, and it doesn't really matter.
About creating a process that we thought was for the best for the organization, but we found out that just because it works for you when the new regime comes in, they don't buy into that process, so therefore it just dies. So that's one of the things that you got to make sure that you sustain is making sure that they're in the process and that they see the value of what you're actually doing.
You should tag along with that. It's just, when you implement change, it's just putting in change, being done, walk away, you can't do that. You have to sustain, go in, audit, refresh, make sure it's sticking. So, sustain it.
You've got to have a plan going forward. If the key players leave, who else is going to carry on for them on the job?
Exactly.